Hey guys, thanks for checking out my channel. This channel is dedicated to all things coral reef. I love to dive. There's nothing more than I like to be underwater on a reef, cruising, checking out corals and fish and all the other great stuff that's down there. The problem is I live in Central Texas, so I have to supplement with saltwater aquariums. Behind me is my 75-gallon saltwater aquarium that I set up a while back, but I'm just outgrowing it. It's not big enough for me. I want something a little more. So I finally got the okay from my wife to put in an 8-foot long, 240-gallon acrylic tank right here in the same spot. So this series is going to be devoted to building that tank. We're going to start from scratch. I bought it used, and we'll talk about that in a little while. But if you like tanks, you thought about setting up a tank, or you're just interested in learning more about saltwater aquariums, then this is the place for you. My name is Jared Bruno. I'm a serial hobbyist, and I'm passionate about reefs. And this is On the Reef. All right, welcome back. So we moved outside, and I've gone ahead and pulled the tank out. So what you'll notice is one of the things when I bought this tank, I bought it used, and I bought it for pennies on the dollar. But it has some swirls and scratches in the actual acrylic itself, inside and outside, and I just can't live with that. This is a huge tank. It's going to be a focal point in my house. I want to make sure that it looks great when people come over and take a look at it, or if I'm just sitting there staring at it. So one of the things we're going to do is refinish the surface. And so refinishing an acrylic tank is not that difficult, but it is definitely labor intensive and time consuming because you have to wet sand it. So I'm going to go through that real quick. I've already done most of this tank before shooting this video, but I want to go ahead and walk you through it and talk about it real quick, just to make sure that if you come across and have to do this on a tank that you purchase, maybe you find a great deal like I did, and you can do that. So one of the things is we're going to go from 400 grit wet sandpaper to 7,000 grit sandpaper, and you're going to step it up. So when you do the 400 grit sandpaper, you're going to go one direction. When you step up to the next grit, so you go up to 600, you're going to go the opposite direction. So if you're going horizontally on the first, you're going to go vertically on the next, horizontally on the next round after that. So basically, it's very simple. So you're going to have a bucket of water and your sandpaper here. And so we're just going to go through and sand it down just like that. So hang tight, and here we go. Alright, so we got this tank sanded down and polished up really nicely, but you notice there's a lot of residue down at the bottom we need to get cleaned out. We want to make sure all that's out of there before we take the tank in and get it placed, and especially before we put livestock in there. We don't want anything that's going to hurt our little underwater creatures. So, stay tuned for the next episode when we move the 75-gallon tank out of the way and get this guy positioned over on that same wall. As always, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on The Reef.